guys. We are live. Why am I doing this? That's fine. But Eric, please. Okay. Let me show you where I begin this. Okay. Here's a oh my god, I keep on forgetting words. I keep on forgetting words, anything. Anyways, here is a revamp of my thriller engine, as you guys seen in the video. I have not changed it to V because I have no idea why, but it's fine already. Oh yeah, I also added some lyrics. I think we should listen to the full song, right? Yeah. Yeah, let's just, yeah. Wait, I forgot to I have to turn it already. Accidental. Okay, that is gone. Okay. Anyways. Alright, let's try that again.
Are you ready? Ready.
Pretty cool, huh? Okay, next up is Trinity, because I don't really have so I just put random characters. I also put in what's her name again? Flower's Rampage, because I have no idea why I want to put there, because I cannot do Luther, because okay, and I'll go with Flower, just for like that. Anyways, let's take a listen at the module part. Ah, it's nice vocals. Oh yeah, this is the this is the mixed part. Let's take a listen, shall we? Oh wow, that was crazy. That's like hang up, bro. Anyways, this is the moment that I replaced. I don't want to kind of do it loser because I don't know why. So I had to use flour for this. Fire, bro! He's fire, bro! Are you gonna leave?
What? MS is blue.
Wow. Okay. And I think it's the time that I have to tell you guys. So, remember this video that Boogie posted a while ago? I mean, 8 days ago. Like, save our show. Well, I wanted to make a secret exit like that. I know a lot of comments are going to go crazy for this. I'm making a secret exit of this. This is going to be insane. It's going to be insane. I will just show you a sneak peek. I will show you a sneak peek for this. Just a little sneak peek. Just like a teeny tiny little sneak peek. Man! Sneak peek all the way, man. How about I kill it and see some videos, man? Right? Just give me a second. Wait, just give me a second. And we're back. We got... I have to do some stuff right now. Let's watch the video to see what you got. See what you all did.
And here you are, after all of this, after everything you went through. I want you to tell me one thing. Why do you still persist? Is it arrogance, pride, courage, hope, or maybe even pure stupidity? Or is it something more personal? Something calling for you, deep down from the depth of your soul. Something giving you this drive, this precious willpower allowing you to continue moving forward? Well, whatever the reason may be, at the end of the day, your journey is all for naught. You chase your own desires, and after all this time, it's been wasted. Go, you were agitated, connected, reduced to nothing but actors. The truth is that it's really the question why you even went on this journey. And why you still persisting. It's both fascinating and idiotic. Well, no matter what you think, no matter what you claim it be, never forget, I am always
So come on now, I dare you to try to outface me. I dare you to try and try and try again. Just for you to eventually crumble, break down, and realize that at the end of the day, in this world, I am God. How could things must eventually come to an end one day? And it seems that your journey ends right here.
It's on fire! Alright. Yo, let's go! Nice.
No matter. I've already got what I've wanted.
Hey, back on film.
Take the step. Don't look back, there's nothing left for you. Tried and yet you failed to save her claws upon your heart. Regret has carried your soul hard. You've lost the heat, it's always the same when you stand before God. Hard love, felt betrayed. Don't see the light of day. With her by your side, rush round, go with me, not my love. Because of you, caught me with the medicine. Angels are my own stars. Whatever you don't you see now? All of your choices have led up to here. Will you keep fighting, or will you let him fall too?
No. Wow. That was crazy. What's his name? Pearson Lowell. Pearson Lowell. I don't know. But that was pretty cool. That was pretty cool. This time we're gonna watch Twisted Swan. Stars of Hope. Okay, let's go. Why does Yoshi look like the monster guy?
watchers, and I'm here to take back the kids and end your madness.
guys really made a lot of it. I watch something, but every time I watch something from like someone performs it in a VR chat or something. Yeah, that. Hold on. So what do you think? Is that good? Yeah, I thought so too.
Hey, pal! Pal!
Yeah? What's up?
Hey, pal, don't try to scream.
No one will hear you. You know, I like that phrase you
Yeah.
just said.
What?
Don't try to scream or no one will hear you.
What?
You know, sometimes I like finding good little boys.
What?
And I make sure that they're good.
No.
Tell me, Mickey, are you a good little boy?
What?
Answer the question. Are you a good little boy? Mickey, are you a good little boy?
Please! Oh, no, Minnie! Minnie, it's me! I missed you!
Have you really missed me?
You again!
I think I've missed you too. Let me run you through a hypothetical, Mickey.
Please!
Let's say that you and me were out shopping, Mickey. And now let's say that you saw an item you really wanted. Let's say a bag of chips. And I'd want you to repay me for buying those chips, Mickey.
With money?
Oh no. I think you know exactly with what.
Please don't hurt me! Please!
You know, I can replace Minnie, Mickey.
You can't!
I'm better than her.
You can't! No!
Stronger.
Please!
And it seems to me you need a big, strong source of potassium in your life. Get away from me, Mickey. Ah, Mickey. tired of hypotheticals, Mickey. How about I put you through a real situation?
What do you mean by that, pal?
Who do you love more, Mickey? Is it Minnie?
Oh my God!
Maybe your sweet little dog Pluto?
No! Let them go!
So, who is it, Mickey?
Pal, I don't want to choose!
See, Minnie? But you have to choose.
Please back away!
There's some food for you while you wait, Mickey.
Oh my God!
Relax.
Is that bad?
Peace, and don't even bother asking for Toodles. I already took care of them.
Oh, Toodles!
Want you to choose, Mickey?
Dinner's ready, Mickey. I made your favorite hot dogs.
No, thank you, Minnie. Hot dogs are my favorite.
Wake up, Mickey. Wake up.
Oh no!
Made your favorite hot dogs, Mickey.
Oh, you're sick! You're sick!
You have to eat them if you want to live at this, Mickey.
Oh my God, no! Let him go! What do you want from me? Money? I have money!
Mickey, I don't want you for me. I told you that there would be consequences, Mickey.
Oh, Donald Daisy! Oh, Chippendale!
I even made you a carpet as a gift, Mickey.
Where's Minnie? What did you do? What?
Relax.
Where's Minnie? Ah,
Go back to sleep, Mickey. Come on, Mickey.
oh, God.
I want to play a game. 1, 2,
Oh, the vent! The vent!
3. Mickey. We were having so much fun.
The hospital beds.
Mickey.
What did you do to her?
Isn't she beautiful? She's hungry for blood, Mickey. Pick up the sword.
I would never hurt my wife!
Mickey, defeat her. And finally let you go.
I can't have my wife! I can't! You know what? I've had enough of you!
Morning, Mickey.
I just... Why?
I'm your Minnie now.
You're not!
All your friends are dead now, Mickey. Now no one can get between us.
You'll never replace Minnie!
How about now?
Get away from me!
Mom? Dad?
Wake up, pal! Wake up, Prolific!
What? Where are my parents?
I hope you have a sweet tooth, pal. I made you a banana split and a banana milkshake made from grandparents' limbs.
Why, Mickey? Why?
You put me through so much, pal. It's time I gave you a taste of your own medicine.
I'm sorry, Mickey. I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry too, pal. For what I did to your family.
Mom, Dad.
Not so fun when you're the victim now, huh, pal?
Mickey, please.
Take one last look at your parents, pal. You did this to them. Their blood is on your hands. Go on, pal. Eat the banana split.
Mickey, this isn't you.
You know what, pal? You're right. Here, I'll tell you what. Let's get out of here.
I'm sorry your pals are dead now, Mickey.
I'm sorry too, pal. I'm so glad we're friends now.
Dora, is that you?
Hola, Boots.
It's been a week since we've been trapped in the back rooms.
Did you know 1 week in the United States is 7 days in Mexico? If you feel like you're gonna die, just don't. Muy bien.
Buckle my shoe, do up my hair. This small child is making me scared. The little Spanish girl with the unblinking eyeballs is Dora the Explorer, well known for her children's television show. But this isn't for kids. Today on Drumsy Season 3, the season of collabs, I, Boots the Monkey, will be documenting Dora's trip into the back rooms. And that's a map. This changes everything. I know Diego said he had a plan to get us out of here, but if Dora has a doo-doo covered map, we had a new way to escape. Similar to an Applebee's menu, you just have to take one look at it, and then you know it's time to leave.
Guys, do not eat the chocolate that's underneath the ball pit. Biggest mistake of my life.
Listen to me, Map.
I am not a map. I am toilet paper now.
Map!
This is the world's first ever actual pool of Jell-O. And while it may look simple, it's actually a very difficult engineering challenge to pull off. As proof, if you Google Jell-O pool, you will either find bad CGI or a handful of videos of people who tried to do this, but it really didn't work out. So today, we're going to answer possibly the longest standing question from my childhood: what would it be like to actually belly flop in a pool of Jell-O? But before we do that, I want to talk about what we actually had to go through for the past 6 months to pull this off. The idea of a Jell-O pool has been on my bucket list for over 4 years. In fact, when Kevin from the Backyard Scientists and I made the 25 million Orbeez pool, our first idea was to do a pool of Jell-O. But it's really hard, because if you've ever made Jell-O, you might recall you first have to boil water, then mix in the powder, and then you have to refrigerate it for it to actually get firm. And that's easy enough to do for a small dish, but how do you boil and then refrigerate an entire pool? This seemed like a very worthy engineering challenge. So last year at Thanksgiving, my brother and I came up with a plan, and then in the middle of winter, we started digging a hole in his backyard. Then over the course of 2 months...
Alright, we took long enough. It's time for another sneak peek of this.
We set up a bunch of small-scale experiments because we needed to answer questions like how much gelatin powder does it actually take to get to the ideal firmness, and how hot and then cold does the mixture actually need to get for the Jell-O chemical reaction to take place so it will actually get firm. And from our experiments, we learned the Jell-O always got firm as long as the mixture got hotter than 160 degrees Fahrenheit. So we decided we could scale this up by using 6 55-gallon drums with a custom propane burner underneath and a spigot we welded to the sides, but more on that later. So now we knew how we were going to heat it up, but how do you refrigerate an entire pool? For that, we teamed up with Mother Nature and just picked the perfect location and time of year. We installed a thermometer, and starting in January, we tracked the temperature in his backyard every night. We needed refrigerator temperatures at night, but not freezer temperatures, because that would freeze the Jell-O, and our experiments showed that totally ruins it. And so after looking at our data plus historical temperature plots, we knew we had about a 3-week sweet spot window towards the end of April to pull this off. Our goal was to have a Jell-O pool party in his backyard that would make even Phineas and Ferb jealous. So the plan was to start 7 days before the party and fill the pool with an average of 10 barrels every day. That would give each layer a chance to get exposed to the cold night air to more efficiently get rid of the heat. And so with that, first thing Saturday, a full week before the party, we got to work. We didn't want to waste actual food, so this is just water and gelatin powder and food coloring, but there's no sugar. we intentionally placed our barrels much higher than the pool, so when we were ready, we could use the potential energy to move the Jell-O from the barrels to the pool. We had to tackle about 1,000 other issues that came up that I won't bore you with, but day by day and layer by layer, the pool began to fill up. Because the Jell-O went in with so much heat energy we needed to remove before it could get firm, in addition to using the cold night air, my brother's neighbor Nick happened to have a spare swamp cooler in his shop. So we kept that running over the top of the pool pretty much the whole week. This gave us convection cooling. It's the equivalent of rolling down a car window for the pool, or like when you blow on the top of a hot cup of soup. This constantly replaces the boundary layer of air right at the surface with fresh cold air that will suck out the heat more efficiently. And so as we put in the final batch Friday night, with ominous weather threatening to ruin the whole effort, at this point we had done all we could. We were exhausted after a week, and I wasn't feeling super confident because my specialty is more with mechanical things, and this project was more about chemistry and thermodynamics. And I didn't want that lame jelly boss stuff people try and pass off as Jell-O. And so even if it didn't last long in the sun, I wanted to at least have the experience of seeing even a single belly flop on a smooth pool of actual Jell-O. If this was going to be a total failure, it wouldn't be from lack of effort. And so we woke up Saturday morning with a forecast for a warm, sunny day, and we pulled off the tarp to find a pool filled with actual freaking Jell-O. And by this point, word in the neighborhood had definitely spread around as to what we were up to, and my brother asked if some of their friends' kids could have first dibs. And so with that, I'm happy to report this is what it looks like to belly flop in a pool of Jell-O.
Not yet. Careful.
Will we capturing Pokemon? I wanna live the life. Will we capturing Pokemon? I wanna live the
When I first got in myself, it was closer to the middle of the day, and one of the things we discovered was that direct sunlight over time had the effect of undoing some of the solidness of the lower layers.
When you go in, it just like fills your nose and like ears. It's a very surreal feeling of just being like, it's kind of hard to move, but it's just slimy and slippery. It actually feels really cool. We have some pool toys hidden underneath. Got it! Wow! It's unlike anything. It's like swimming in snot, if that makes any sense. But like a good snot.
To keep it solid for even longer, if we were to do it again, we might put in a heat exchanger pipe system beneath the surface, sort of like how they freeze indoor ice skating rinks. And maybe use a little sugar.
That's disgusting.
Now at this point you might be thinking, why would anyone spend the effort of 6 months of planning and then a solid week of back-breaking effort just to make a stupid pool of Jell-O? And to that I say, why do people go through the effort of climbing Mount Everest? Why did Neil Armstrong go through the effort of stepping on the moon? And why did Pam and Jim go through the effort of convincing Dwight that Jim had always been Asian?
This is Jim.
Sometimes you don't do a thing because you should, but simply to prove that you can. Now that my curiosity was fully satiated, and in my ongoing quest to be the favorite uncle, I told my nephews they could invite some of their friends over, and my brother's family set up a neighborhood barbecue. And at this point, after a lot of hours of belly flops and bowling balls and direct sunlight, the Jello was pretty broken down, but that didn't stop us from setting up a Jello pool slip and slide. And I loved their sense of adventure, but it was a bit of an uncle fail moment because apparently none of them have ever used a slip and slide.
And everybody starts to move as soon as Partner starts to play.
Didn't actually put any sugar in here, so it's kind of disgusting. So we've got some real This is what it looks like to close out a year of your life trying to answer one of life's most basic questions. Exactly how high can elephant toothpaste actually be launched into space? Now, if this looks sort of familiar, it's because this isn't my first attempt. Last year, my buddy Fletcher and I were here with this monster of a flask, but with one critical oversight. We didn't make the floor stiff enough because I just didn't consider the forces to be so high they'd lift a 1-ton structure 5 feet into the air. And so while that attempt did yield a new Guinness World Record of 60 feet, I couldn't stop thinking about just how high it could have gone if only all that stuff that came out of the bottom was actually forced to come out through the top. Like, what would happen if I spent the year designing and building something that weighed 5 tons and was basically bomb-proof? And then what if we could just go on to make the world's most epic surprise party by building a massive slip-and-slide skateboard ramp, along with the 26 million Orbeez pool, plus a Devil's Toothpaste explosion 2.5 times bigger than previously? Then the only thing that would be missing would be someone to throw the surprise party for. And that's where my new friend Brody comes in. Now, to understand who Brody is, all you really need to know is that as him and his family were going through an incredibly difficult time in their lives as he narrowly fought through his battle against blood cancer for 3 years, Brody used his one and only Make-A-Wish chance to buy a brand new ATV for another kid with cancer he didn't even know when he heard that kid had his ATV stolen. By the way, I told my friend Mr. Beast this story, and he had some thoughts on what we should do about this situation. So now that we had a plan for the surprise party, and a kid who definitely deserved the world's most epic surprise party, it was time to return to my buddy Dale's walnut farm in the small town of Gridley, California, and get to work. And while I'd love to take credit for single-handedly digging out the entire Orbeez pit, the truth was, as word got out about Brody's story, the good people of Gridley came out to help in droves. So Arnie here, who's been operating a backhoe for 60 years, volunteered to dig the Orbeez pool, while Dave, the town master carpenter, started working on the skateboard ramp. I even harnessed some child labor to prep the Devil's Toothpaste troughs, although it sort of backfired when they began to protest against their harsh working conditions. Which just left my nemesis, the giant elephant's toothpaste flask. And this time I was taking no chances, and so for the base we laid a concrete pad which would be attached to the flask with 30 3/4-inch bolts with a total clamping force of 80 tons. And then instead of a structure made of 2x4s, the plan was to use 5 tons of steel all fused together by the town will. 2, 1. This is me reclaiming my title for the world's largest and tallest elephant toothpaste. This is the brand new Guinness World Record largest ever elephant toothpaste foam experiment. In today's video, which is partially sponsored by LastPass, I'm going to walk you through everything we have to go through to get to this point, as well as some really cool side discoveries we made in our hundreds of hours of testing along the way. The main ingredient for elephant's toothpaste is hydrogen peroxide. It's the same stuff you pour on a scrape to disinfect it. The thing is, the bonds that hold the hydrogen and oxygen together are pretty weak. So if we poured some of this in here and just left it for a while, it would keep releasing oxygen and eventually you'd be left with just water. However, if you add a catalyst like potassium iodide, you can make that slow process happen almost instantly. So that's cool, but we can make it way more impressive if we add one key ingredient, soap. So if we pour this in and then do everything else the same, now when the oxygen is released, the soap captures it, creating bubbles and foam. And then finally, if you do all that again, only now you add food coloring and use a flask that tapers like this, you can focus the expansion of foam so it looks maximum awesome. So in order to fill a pool with this stuff, I first got together with some friends and we spent literally hundreds of hours for a few weeks running experiments to calculate the best raw ingredient combinations in addition to brainstorming other cool things we might do with it. And so before we attempted to shatter the current world record, we had an end of summer party with my son and a bunch of family friends where we wanted to share with them the coolest side discoveries from our research. But first, in true end of summer fashion, we had to knock out some slip and slide kickball. I plan to kick things off by attacking them with an elephant toothpaste gun we made, as revenge for when a bunch of these same kids ambushed me on a recent beach trip and then offered me some cookies, which were just 6 massive cockroaches. And I hate cockroaches. However, as part of our testing, we discovered the reaction is highly exothermic, which means it generates heat as a byproduct. If you watch it infrared, you'll see the temperature of the foam right after the reaction can reach almost 200 degrees Fahrenheit. So because I'm nice, I shelved my revenge plans and just demonstrated what would have been their fate and told them to sit and watch at a safe distance. And they listened, sort of. And so now that we had their attention, it was showtime. 3, 2, 1, go! This one's called the Melted Unicorn. You might recognize Bob Flugfelder here, aka Science Bob. He's been on Jimmy Kimmel Live 11 more times than I have, and I invited him out to join me for a very specific reason, which I will address in a bit. And so with the success of the science show behind us, it was now time for phase 2. So we are here standing in an empty swimming pool, about to try and break the world record for elephant's toothpaste. You want to tell the good people who owns the current world record, Bob?
I do.
You want to tell the good people who's about to not own the world record, Bob?
Pretty confident, aren't you?
No, I'm not.
Engineer.
But if everything goes well, we're over to quadruple the amount of the current record which you hold. I'm not sure how much of like the trees and neighborhood we're going to cover in the process. Only time will tell. And chemistry, which I don't understand, but we'll see what we can come up with. We wanted the foam to be safe to play in afterwards, so we used ordinary baking yeast as our catalyst. We could have bought yeast in big buckets, but it turned out it was cheaper to get them in 1-pound bags. The only downside to that is then you have to cut open 180 1-pound bags of yeast, but that's why we have Science Bob.
Come on out, they said. It'll be fun, they said.
This is an emergency tarp system. So if we did our math right, it shouldn't overflow. In the case that it does, we have these tarps here to contain all of the foam from not going everywhere in the yard. So we hope for the best, plan for the worst. We built these three frames for the tarps that would contain the Catalyst E solution. So when it was time to fill the pool, we could just cut the tarps and it would pour out. The same way we cut the tarp when we added the bigger Orbeez. And Kevin. It's go time, baby. We're probably like 7 minutes out. Got a bunch of kids inside who are just raring to get out. The challenge here is this water's warm. We didn't build these containers big enough, so this will start rising. So it's sort of a race against the clock before it starts overflowing. We still have to add the soap, and then we have to add the food coloring. Oh, this looks terrifying. As I stab this bloody thing, I think I'm about to get demonetized. Okay, now we're adding the soap. This is what will actually make the bubbles. Soap isn't part of the reaction. 2 more soap buckets. Oh, as you can see, that bucket's filling up real quick. So after a few final touches, we were ready to go. 3, 2, 1. Now before we cut the tarps, I want to point out I'm not a chemist. With the physics and engineering problem, I'm way more comfortable understanding the parameters and getting closer to the final solution off the bat. But chemistry is just little molecules I can't see, and it feels a lot like trial and error without any guarantee it will actually scale up predictably. This was feeling like the nightmare of the Jello pool all over again. To get to this point, we had ran over 150 tests, sometimes at great peril to that which we hold dear. And so once again, if this was a total failure, it wouldn't be from lack of effort. Having said all that, here she is. 2, 1, go!
This is the right
No, man, get off here. That's not the right way. This is the right way.
So the good news is, we broke the record. The bad news is, we're kind of overachievers. Uh-oh. It's coming up! The great tsunami! Hey, hold this. Okay, stand back off the tarp. Oh, we need to grab them, stand back. Hold this up, Bob. Okay? Woo! So while we pushed all the foam back into the pool, that gave it some time to cool down so we could actually touch it. The drone was super cool because not only did it make the foam look like an alien cocoon, but you could see it travel in infrared because it would expose the much hotter lower layers of foam as it flew around. What do you guys think? Do you think this is gonna float? No! No? Alright, here we go. After all our tests, we perfected the chemistry for this stuff. So if you want to make a home version you can play with, check out Science Bob's website. I'll leave a link in the video description. Alright, Bob. Sorry you're looking at an obsolete piece of material there.
I had it for over a year.
You did have it for over a year, but all good things must come to an end.
I was mad, but darn, it was a lot of fun.
That was a lot of fun, and I have good news because you are still the world record holder. I'm putting you on there with me, buddy. Oh, yeah. Nerd hug.
This is the most expensive firework in the entire world, and it cost me over $160,000. And I also bought a $5,000 firework, a $10,000 one, and this big behemoth right here is a $40,000 firework. And everything here, we spent over $600,000 on this video, and every single firework will be launched. Starting with this one, it costs $1. Chandler, go launch it.
Lighting. That was kind of lame.
Here's a $10 firework. Let's see if it's better. Chandler got so scared. Here's a $50 firework. We're gonna go up to 200 grand. Go.
It's on fire, but it's not. I don't like it. Run!
I can't wait till you see the $200,000 firework. I don't know why I'm holding up a 7.
That was a little step up from last time. I like it.
Chris just had a baby, as you see here. It's really adorable, good for him. Hence why he's not here today. Here's the $375 firework. You're Chris for the day, go light.
Someone give me a lighter.
This is $375.
I'm so afraid.
It's so colorful!
Wow.
This is spectacular. How is it going to get better than that?
I got a $1,000 firework with your name on it.
My name?
Let's go get it. $1,000.
Where's my name?
Bada bang. Ka-chow. Those 9 boxes combined equal $1,000.
Go! Oh shoot, we're gonna die. Oh my goodness.
The drone survived! This next firework is the most epic thing you have ever seen. This mortar will leave this tube at 500 feet per second.
Speed, baby.
It weighs 160 pounds, which is more than Carl.
But I'm brighter.
We even had to get FAA clearance to light this. There can't be planes in the sky.
All right, buddy, go boom for us.
We're gonna light it, but you guys have to go 500 feet away. So step 1 is you hit the power on, and then I was told to turn this key. Okay, now it's beeping. There's a lot of buttons, but they told me this is the one that mattered. Chandler, give me a countdown. 3, fire! Oh my god. That looks like a nuke.
Yo, that was insane.
This is Manny, and Manny wants to fly. So we strapped 100 rockets to him.
We needed it to get in the air. We decided we had to dress it pretty fly. You know what I'm saying? We had to get it up there.
TravisBeast.com.
Buy it!
I got the Cobra, boys. Chandler, I'm gonna let you do it.
3, 2,
1.
What did we put in there?
Why did the fireworks blow up? Why didn't we just have fireworks that just went up?
Bro, they like went over like us.
Did it look like aliens were attacking?
Wait a second.
Where's Manny?
Manny, are you? He's right here.
Wait. Where's his head? Oh. I've always wanted to launch a bunch of fireworks in a car. What does it do? Does it ricochet? Does the car blow up? Who knows? 3, 2, 1, 3! I think it's ricocheting!
It is.
That's terrifying.
Wait, the roof.
Whoa!
Oh, shoot! It's on fire!
Oh, it is?
Yo, there's a fire! There's a fire straight up!
Yeah, it's on fire.
We want to blow stuff up, so that's what we're gonna do. The whole truck is full of fireworks. We're gonna add these. We're gonna light this one, and it's gonna go boom.
Lightning!
Lit.
Lit.
Go! 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 Look at the fire. That's as ferocious as it's gotten. Bro, it just keeps going. Yo, the fire is engulfing it. Look at it. Oh! Oh! Run! Yo! Hey!
Now that's what we're looking for right there, yeah! In the past, I microwaved a microwave. And after that, I microwaved a microwave, microwaving a microwave. Then I grilled a microwave, microwaving a microwave, microwaving a toaster, toasting an iPhone, watching microwaving a microwave. I have a lot of experience with microwaves. And tonight, we're microwaving a firework. Oh, shoot.
Alright, let's see what happens.
Alright. I I did it for a minute. I was told we only needed a minute. It's gonna be so loud. But this is supposed to explode like 1,000 feet in the air.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. Guys, we got bulletproof glass. We're fine.
4 seconds though.
I thought it was gonna.
That was awesome.
For this next scene, we have hundreds of drones here. Here's how it works. Whatever you say in this walkie-talkie, the drones will spell. Burger.
No way.
What? What is that?
Oh my god.
Chandler, what does that say?
Oh my god. Burger.
Those hundreds of drones currently spell burger in the sky. You can see that a mile away. What do you want the drone to spell?
Cheese balls. Cheese balls.
Okay, come over here. This next one, I like Chris pre-picked it. I don't even know what it is. Oh, of course he did the gotcha symbol.
I love my mom.
Okay, I'm gonna override it. Carl's gone. He's gonna get so mad.
Bruh! What?
Whoops!
Yeah.
I guess the drones are broken.
My name's Carl with a K! Stop doing this!
You thought in this video we'd just have epic fireworks? No, we have tons of cool stuff. We're just getting started. What's a 4th of July show without sparklers?
It's a bad 4th of July without sparklers.
I agree. These are normal sparklers that you could buy, but they're lame, so activate the project. Bazinga!
Bazinga! Oh my gosh!
We bought 5. These are normal sparklers that you could buy, but they're lame, so activate the project. Bazinga!
Bazinga! Oh my gosh!
We bought 520 sparklers and drew our logo. Woo! Carl!
Is this fake, man? There's nothing fake about it. I'm an expert. Like, they don't make t-shirts that lie. Well, let me show you around. I'm the expert, alright? So what's gonna happen is it's gonna explode. Bang! What? Again?
See how it didn't move at all? Now we're gonna launch 150 fireworks at the same time. We had a lot sitting on the table, so we're just gonna do them all at once.
We're about to see 150 explosions. Let's do it all right now.
We're back in Command Center.
I'm pumped, dude. This is about to be sick.
3, 3, 3. I'm really excited for the $40,000 fireworks. It's gonna be that, but 40 times better.
That's just math.
It's officially time for the big boy fireworks to come out. A $10,000 fireworks show. Give me a countdown and I'll launch it. I don't care, I'm launching. Fire!
Oh! That's hard.
This isn't just one firework. This is an entire show.
They're like little popcorns.
A little bit bigger than popcorn.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
Did you guys enjoy that show?
It was loud. It was good. My voice cracked. It was good.
I think we could all agree the 10K show was cool. But it was a little long. That entire 5-minute show that you just watched, they're all gonna launch at the same time now. Tyler, when you press fire, you are gonna launch 4,000 shells at the exact same time.
This is too much power.
I am terrified.
3, 2, 1, fire! Oh, wow.
That was the coolest thing I've ever seen in my entire life. That was dope. That was dope.
Guys, that was dope. I'm not gonna lie. That was dope.
That was dope.
I mean,
things are about to get crazy. This is a $40,000 firework. I could have bought a car. I could have put a down payment on a house. I could have given Chandler 40 grand. Or I could have bought 10,000 copies of Shrek, but I did none of that. 40 grand. Or I could have bought 10,000 copies of Shrek, but I did none of that, and I bought a $40,000 firework. This $40,000 firework is literally going to blow your socks off.
no pun intended.
It is over 9,000 shells. That $10,000 firework was 4,000 shells. This is going to be 4 times bigger. $40,000 is a lot of money. There's a lot of stuff we can do.
3, 2, 1, fire!
I thought I was gonna die.
That was crazy.
That was the best thing.
I can't hear.
How are we not arrested? They literally had to back up and see.
I know. Now that we did that, was that worth a Tesla Model 3?
Yes.
Speakers!
That was $10,000 a second of flashing light. That's $40,000. Imagine $160,000.
It doesn't get better than that. We just peaked.
We'll see.
Bro, are you kidding me? Look at this one. I can fit inside that. Do you think I could fit my head in this one? Why not? It's not even on.
Ready to see the world's largest firework and get
Light up the sky! It's going to be freaking nuts!
We are about to launch the largest firework anyone in mankind's history has ever seen. Literally a world record. $160,000. 4,000 pounds, 15 feet deep holes. We literally needed a forklift.
First things first, you have to turn control panel on.
Oof. You then turn the key.
Oh my god.
Let's all press it together. Give it a countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, skip 1.
Oh, yo, you can hear that.
I felt it in my chest. Oh, they're up there.
That is so bright. It's literally raining fire for like a mile. It's so
It
scary.
may not look like that, but that's literally like a mile. What were your thoughts, Shannon?
On the second boom, I heard like this whoosh
All around us.
literally.
I felt it in my chest,
Yeah,
and we're
like,
2,000 feet
still
away.
feel it.
Anyone else still just shaking a little bit from that shock?
I had to like realign my heart.
I know. I still. We will be spending 24 hours in this insane asylum. Yay! But we're gonna do it a little different this time. There are 2 teams: Team Red, Team Black. Whichever team survives the longest in this insane asylum, which by the way they can't use their arms, they're all wrapped up. Whichever team survives the longest gets 10 grand. Last thing we are doing.
All right, sleepy time again. Actually, we have to 2 sneak peeks. One from there and one from here.
Different is there to be no deal. If you even mention a deal, you lose. The other team gets the 10 grand. Video over. All right, you guys ready? Yeah! All right, see you in 3 days. No, too bad. They call it a classic. All right, how long?
In this video, I bought loads of Lego candy and challenged myself to apply my master building skills and build a bunch of creations with it. Was this a miserable fail, or was this a nice juicy dub for the boys? Let's find out. Someone on the Discord gave me the idea of making something with Lego candy, so I'm a Lego channel, and I figured I'd give this a shot. So my first instinct was to hit the grocery stores and see if they sold this stuff, but they didn't have it. So my next instinct was to make some phone calls and see if any other businesses around town had it. Hey, do you guys sell, like Lego candy in bulk?
We don't, I believe so. We do have Lego candy, yeah, we know, seen that.
Well, that didn't work either, so it was time to hit Amazon. After 2 days, it finally came in the mail. We have Brandon, our special guest today, unboxing. Got the airbag right here. Whoa. That's what the block looks like. Got a little bit of that powder on it. Yeah, it's not really that good, honestly. Here, try this. It just tastes like hard pub. So in terms of flavor, sorry, cheap, but it doesn't really fit my vibe. So then, it was time to get building. My first challenge was to make a house. So we got the second layer of bricks down. So far they interlock. I might have bad lungs at this point because as I'm building, there's all this like sugary dust powder flying around and just going into my nose. Once the walls were completed, I wanted to spice things up a little bit, so I added some Lego furniture. Okay, we got the crib here, bros. We've got the dining room with delicious glizzy. Can't forget them glizzies. There's also a gaming setup where you can hop on the Minecraft. There's even a couch. There's also a bed. Then I got hungry, so I went to IKEA for some Swedish meatballs. Wow, very delicious. When it came to building the roof, I realized that there was a problem. Since Lego candy doesn't interlock very well, I would have to use real Lego that I knew was structurally sound to actually support it from underneath. At least it's better than not having a roof at all. Like, I mean, this house looks like it's from a third world country. Also, getting this build onto my backdrop was a nightmare. Getting good content comes at a price. And after a few more hours of building, I had a final product. I built this pretty big Lego house. On the side, it's got a garage, and boy oh boy, is it colorful. But since this build is so fragile, it does have some of its flaws. But the main purpose was just to challenge myself and kind of get a feel what building with candy would be like. After a hard day's work, time to treat yourself to a little candy and also do some demolishing. After building that house, it was time to ask people on Instagram what I should build, and this is what you guys wanted. This first one's Dwayne Johnson. It's about drive, it's about power. Such an inspirational build. It really makes me want to hit the gym so I can start bouncing berries off my nipples. Here's a chicken. Can't forget the chickens. Also a turtle. Hopefully this will remind you not to get a plastic bag next time you go to the grocery store. Peter wanted me to cut a candy in half, so here's to you, Peter. This one's a giant minifigure, and here's a pyramid. Really satisfying looking. This is a giant Lego candy made from Lego candy. And here's a car. YouTube play button, and for the sake of getting a good thumbnail, here's another house I made. It's a lot more clean and simple than the other one. Please give this video a like, or this minifig will be under your bed tonight. Okay, now I'm gonna pass this over to Brandon.
Yeah, I already did the math. Why am I trying to do it again? It's looking like it's gonna be like, what did I say? It was like 15 minutes, less than 15. Damn. And that's where it ends forever. Why is this quiet? Oh wait, look at Chad. I would have made it. My bad. Do you like Elias Boyd's vocals in old versus Dave versions? Oh, the yeah. I don't know how to do the chromatic, but I don't know what you're talking about.
No one's gonna come over here. No one's just gonna come over here. No one's gonna stream. Well, I guess I let you play Act 1 of it. do this. Back home. How are we doing this? Oh, here it is. Well, guess I have to end the stream because I killed it. Thank you guys for watching the stream. Oh boy. I don't know what to say. No one is here. No one is here. No one's just here to support me. No, it's literally just here to support me. Anyways. Thank you guys so much for watching the stream. I don't know what to say, but there's no one there.